Hi. Today I'm going to be showing you a few of my favorites, and this ranges from articles of clothing to some of my favorite teas to a couple of just other random scattered things. So three things. One, I am doing this video in soft spoken. I'm going to try and do this video completely in soft spoken. It's so much louder than I expected it to be because I have these headphones now and I can hear what I'm doing, and I can also hear every one of the sounds that the microphone is picking up. By the way, there's a dishwasher going right now, so if you hear a couple of weird sloshy sounds, that's that. Secondly, I switched the camera angle. I believe this is a lot better than the one I used to have. It's just easier to prop up, and I think it captures everything I want it to capture. It captures the whole frame. And also I probably won't have to readjust it, let's hope. If the angle gets a little screwed up in the latter half of this video or later in the video, I apologize for that. I'm trying to still kind of work with this, but if it doesn't, I think this could continue to work. And lastly, I organized my earbuds in a different way this time, because last time it was hitting the desk that I have my mic on, and it's making this weird laminated paper kind of sound, and I think it interfered with the video in general. So I'm gonna try and keep that at a minimum. It's hanging on my mic right now, so hopefully that will fix some of the problems. Okay, so now that we've got that all out of the way, let's get started. So let's start with something. Let's start with my teas, because I have a couple of them here. They're all in tins. I love tea tins. So this is my first one. This is a regional tea. This is a local tea, not from my area, but I was recommended this brand by one of my friends. And when I went to visit, this guy's in Portland, Oregon. This tea maker is in Portland, Oregon. This is Stephen Smith tea maker. When I went, I had to buy a tin because I wanted one very badly. So this blend is called Meadow. It's number 67, and it's an herbal fusion. So no caffeine by any means, just how I like it, because unless it's in case of bubble tea, I prefer herbal teas to black or green teas. So in this is a caffeine-free blending of golden chamomile flowers and fragrant hyssop, said to improve one's focus. We've also added some smooth Cape rooibos, rose petals, and linden flowers. You may need a sun hat. So the ingredients are chamomile, rooibos, fragrant hyssop, linden flowers, lemon myrtle, rose petals, safflower, cyane flowers, and natural flavors. I probably got a couple of those names wrong, but I think that's the essence. So it's blended and packed by Stephen Smith's tea maker, or by Smith Tea Maker in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon is one of my favorite cities, actually. It's my second favorite city in the United States. And this is just a little bit of instructions. So it's steep our black teas and herbal infusions for 5 minutes, green and white for 3, and then raise your cup gently with both hands as a quiet salute before drinking. So this is a very local, very niche brand. I take a lot of pride in knowing this brand because this mix is so good. It's very calming. It's not fruity by any means, which is usually what I like, but it's fragrant and it's nice as a relaxing kind of blend. Now I want this. I might have some of this before I go to bed. Let me just close this tin without... Okay, there we go. Alright. My next tea is going to be one of the 2 Harney & Sons teas that I'm going to show. I'm obsessed with tea tins. I know I said this that all my teas were tea tins, but I really am obsessed with tea tins. I I like loose leaf teas better, and two of these are loose leaf, but the Harney & Sons ones are in little sachets. I like the way they make their sachets. I think they're really silky. I think they just look nice. I don't really know what to do for the tea. This is one of the blends that I got. This is a holiday blend. I believe this is a little more berry concentrated than the other Harney & Sons. The other Harney & Sons tea is also holiday themed, but it is not as fruity as this one is. This one has like cranberry in it. Black tea with holiday spices, yeah. So this is black tea, orange peels, safflowers, vanilla flavor, cloves, almond, hot cinnamon spice, and orange flavor. So a lot of like citrus notes. This is, yeah, there's it's sachets. This is like a black tea, so it does have caffeine. But I really like this blend because I like the orange peel in it. And it does feel like a holiday tea. Both of the teas that I have from Harney & Sons are, again, holiday teas, and both of them taste like how Christmas should. Or just like winter should. I don't think there's any specific, like, religious holiday that these taste like. But it's definitely just like winter vibes, and winter's my favorite season. So speaking of which, I have the White Christmas tea. This is a blend of white tea, vanilla, and almond flavor. White tea's pretty good, I think. This one doesn't have as much of a description, but the ingredients are white tea, cardamom, chamomile, almond, vanilla, and cardamom flavor. And it contains natural flavors, and it's noted as warm and nutty. I think they have different classifications for teas. But smelling it, you can smell it through the tin. Smelling it through the tin, it's definitely more of like a richer, more like by the campfire type of thing. I think the other one's more like a outdoorsy or just like by a Christmas tree crowd kind of situation. I don't know. I have very strong feelings about winter. So that's the White Christmas one. Also, if I'm speaking a little too fast, I apologize. I tend to speak quite fast. And I'm talking about things that I really like, which makes me speak faster. So if you have a request for a slower talking video, I'm gonna try my best to see if I can do that. But this really isn't meant to be taken seriously in the sense that I don't expect you to hang on to every word I say, right? It's more of just meant to be something relaxing or like low toned, to be as more of like a soothing thing in the background or to listen to. My last tea is this David's Tea Hibiscus Splash. This is heavily fruity. This is Fruity Tropical Thirst Quencher. Yeah, was a summer blend. I got this during the summer about 1 year ago, maybe nearly a year ago. This is Pink Pineapple Punch. Actually, there's like a bunch of names on here, and I don't know which one's the right one, but Pink Pineapple Punch. It's pineapple and hibiscus and stuff like that. With sweet pineapple, tangy hibiscus, and tart cranberries. This fruity, caffeine-free blend tastes like an all-natural tropical punch. And this also, I think, donates some money to human rights causes. Oh yes, to help give clean water around the world. Okay, that's pretty good. So the ingredients in this one are apple, pineapple, hibiscus blossoms, fig, rose pepper, cranberries, cornflower blossoms, stevia extract, natural cherry, and berry flavoring. So this one is, out of all my teas, this is probably like not exactly my favorite because I like them all for different reasons, but this one's definitely the most like lighthearted. This one's the one I'd go for if I wanted like something sweet to drink or something like, I don't know. This tea seems like the most energetic tea that I have. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is this kind of random addition that I have. This is my body wash that I currently use. So I didn't really care what shampoos or body washes I used until very, very recently, like less than a year recently, but I care about it now. So this is my body wash that I currently use, and this is by Goodfellow & Co. I believe this is supposed to be men's body wash, But first of all, I like the packaging a lot. Very simple, very nice, very neat. It's the number 8 sea salt and moss, but I like the packaging and I like the aesthetic, and that has a very, very large impact on the things that I buy. So in this is, I think, a generally pretty neutral scent. I don't really like to mark scents as gender, like oriented, but even as far as those categorized scents go, this is, I think, is pretty neutral. And I just like, the ingredients that are in here. There's like hints of more feminine ingredients and then hints of more like masculine scents. So I'm good with that. It says a fresh aquatic scent with subtle hints of citrus, white lavender, and oak moss. I think that describes it pretty well just from like smelling it. I got this from Target. I think this is only sold at Target. But it has hops extract, helps soothe dry and damaged skin, made without silicones, sulfates, parabens, and synthetic dyes. So it has top notes of seagrass, lemon peel, and cassava melon, middle notes of jasmine, white lavender, and sea briar rose, and base notes of amber, driftwood, musk, and oak moss. So this is pretty good. I like it a lot. Smelling it is really nice. And I've been using it when I shower, and I think this is just, it makes you feel clean. Like, this is a scent that makes you feel clean, like kind of like if you had like a linen scent or like a cotton scent or something. So I like this a lot. I just wanted to include that because, I mean, it's a bit out of the ordinary, but I've been really impressed with it. The other body washes I've used in the past are mainly just like fruity or floral scents, which is fine, and like they get the job done, like they're like Garnier or something. But I really like this one. I think it's nice, it's simple, it does what you want it to do. And for people who don't exactly want a scent that is, super flowery or like super flowery, super floral, or super fruity or whatever, I think this is a really good option. Or a scent that's like super musky, I think this is really good for my non-binary people especially. The next object I would like to show is this book that I have. I have a couple of books here, but this is the only like real book. The other ones are all graphic novels, because I really, really like graphic novels, and I've been really getting into them. I think they've been like my gateway back into reading, which is why I have this book in the first place. So this is The Remains of the Day. I believe this was really, really popular, at least when it was first released, or in like the decade or two when it was released. This is about a butler traveling to like a different place in England. He works in England, but he's going to a different place. I don't exactly know the entire plot yet because I'm reading through it right now. But he's basically contemplating his service, which doesn't exactly seem like the most alluring piece of reading that I could ever do. But basically he's like trying, I guess he's figuring out the nature of the employer he worked for. The true nature, I guess, how good of a man he actually was. And again, that doesn't seem like a super enticing read, but I hear it's supposed to be incredibly good. So I'm taking a shot with it. It's not bad so far. It's enough to keep me interested. So I feel like things are going to take a turn for the much heavier pretty soon. Right now he's just kind of driving and exploring things and like thinking a little bit, but I don't think it's gotten incredibly heavy. There's a bit of philosophical stuff in there, just considerations about, in his case he's a butler, right? So like, what makes a great butler, what makes a great person, things like that. Why he's so proud of the place he works, what he thinks about his duties to his boss, and how he feels about his profession, which are all like pretty interesting topics to me. So it's currently pretty interesting as it is, but I will finish this and then we'll probably update about this book if I really, really like it. I don't do much reading, so the fact that I'm investing time into this, I think, is saying something already. So with that being said, I'm actually going to move into my graphic novels. Actually, because they're all stacked on top of each other, I'm going to take this off first, which I was going to show as well. So this is my little thing of reusable makeup pads. It's by a company called Green Estate, but really I don't think like these specifically have to be like from the specific brand. Like if you got reusable makeup pads from anywhere, I think they'll be fine. I like these ones though. These are thick. Like these are thick and they're double-sided and they're like they have hems and stuff. I like it because it's just a little more, in my opinion, put together. It's nice. It gets I only use toner for this. I don't wear a lot of makeup, so if I'm going to be using this for anything, it's just going to be skincare products, which is right now the only thing I use this for is toner. So this has one black side for removing makeup and one white side for applying skincare things, which is what I use. And they just come in these little rounds. And they're I think they're very useful in like getting things around. They just seem very well built, I guess. A lot of the cotton pads I see around, and this is by no means like a right or wrong thing. I think people just like either have a preference or they don't really care and they just buy whichever cotton round suits them. Some of them I've seen are a little thinner or just like made with like one or two pieces of fabric. I'm not a huge fan of that. I quite like the really like fluffy kind of like massaging type. So this is really good, I think. And it comes with a laundry bag. I think there are 14 in here. Let me see. 14. Yeah, 14 microfiber rounds. And they come with a laundry bag and this box that I store them in. Okay. Now they got that out of the way. I think reusable cotton pads are just a really good thing to invest in because you can just wash them with your laundry. I feel at least a little uncomfortable throwing cotton pads out immediately after using them. So, regardless, those are my cotton pads. And that is my item that I was putting up there. Below the cotton pads, I have 3 graphic novels. This one's pretty hefty. This one's really heavy as well. This is about... Okay, it's about 525 pages. It's like 530 pages. This is On a Sunbeam. This is a book by Tilly Walden, and this is emotional, like out of my mind emotional. It is a slow burn romance, like sci-fi, futuristic, intergalactic graphic novel. And yes, there's a lot to it. It's like, I don't know, there's a lot of layers and a lot of depth. It's very personal and like intimate. It's not like by any means, I don't think, like a projection or like a way to I guess more it's not an allegory of any kind. I don't think it's not like I don't think the author was like trying to portray something in her own life here or anything of her own experience, but she made an incredibly emotional book with a lot of like good themes and good flashbacks, and essentially it's about this girl Mia trying to get back to her girlfriend Grace, but they met at school and they were separated, and then a lot of things happened and she's found new friends and you know, but the one theme across the entire thing is she's trying to get back to her. I think it's super sweet. I mean, as someone who's like kind of a diehard romantic, this is probably one of the best ways to portray that kind of, I don't know, that kind of like very long hoping, I guess. This is super intense. The other ones I have are, okay, this one's really popular. On Sunbeam is too, but this one's like super, super well known. If you read any YA or anything near YA, you will probably have heard of this at the very least. This is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This is, in my opinion, one of like the classic graphic novels that like really came to like popularity in that era where people were making graphic novels more of a bigger thing, and all of these cool like YA covers were coming out. Again, packaging, huge thing for me, and book covers are also part of it. I bought this book. It's super relatable, I guess, in a sense. It's super grounded and down to earth, and I love it. And it's about this girl named Freddie, and she is upset. Well, she's in love with the most popular girl in school, Laura Dean. But the thing is, like, Laura Dean is kind of a player, right? So she doesn't really care about Freddie's feelings, but she cares enough to keep her around, and so she never gets bored, right? Laura Dean never needs to feel scared about losing her, because she always just does just enough to keep Freddie around. So I think it's a really good portrayal of like a toxic relationship and getting out of it, and like, you know, focusing on yourself and your friends, and really putting yourself first and realizing when a good time to quit is. Also, last one, and I think my last item out of this pile, is this book called Pumpkinheads. It's just really cute. This is not serious by any means. I think these two, the past two, Laura Dean and On a Sunbeam, have pretty heavy topics. This is just lighthearted. This is really good if you want like a lighthearted kind of read, because this is just about, I mean, two friends who work at a pumpkin patch every fall. If you like fall, and I know a lot of people have fall as their favorite season, if you like fall, this would be a very comforting read, I think. This is something that is kind of homing just because of how like down to earth and lighthearted it is. It's cute, and it's like, it's energetic as a book, but it's not like there's super heavy themes in it. I think it's just a nice read if you want to sit down, and this is probably good with like a cup of tea or in a cafe or something. This is like one of those books. Not too heavy, not too serious. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's very well drawn and very sweet. And the themes here are very linear and nice. And there are some good things that are touched upon. I think all three of these books have very impressive ways of storytelling and very impressive art styles. So I would consider them real books. Regardless, thank you for watching this video. I apologize again for the dishwasher going off in the back, but these were just a couple of my favorites for the time being. I had a couple of more favorites, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to them today. I will probably, if it's requested, or I feel like I have a lot more to share, I will probably do another one of these videos. I also have a lot of, I think I mentioned this in the last, in the first video, I have a lot of art objects, like I have like a piece of pottery from an art store, and it's basically just Instagram artists that I really like, and I buy their enamel pins, or I buy their clay pieces or something, and I'd be more than willing to showcase some of those as well. And I know a lot of people are really appreciate those kinds of pieces as well. So those are some ideas for the future, but for now, thank you for watching, and I hope you at least liked the items a little bit that I showed, and if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine, but at least hopefully this was a nice little video, nice little ramble that was casual and enjoyable, if not comforting. So, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one.